Hello and welcome to this episode of Comm Topic Talks. I'm Sydney Young.
I'm Jonathan Weed.
And I'm Janisha Banks. Thanks so much for watching.
Our topic this month is grad school. I'll be chatting with a alumna about her path to grad school.
And I'll be focusing on grad school options right here on campus, UM's Masters of Business Administration.
And if grad school is something that you're thinking about, I'll show you some ways that you can get involved with research as an undergrad that will prepare you for graduate school. This Comm Topic Talk starts right now.
When it comes to graduate school, there are lots of different paths to take. For some, they go to grad school as soon as they finish their undergraduate degree. That's exactly what our first guest today did. Joining me in studio is Elizabeth Pritchett. She graduated from UM in 2017 with a degree in mass communication, and she earned her master's in community journalism from the University of Alabama in 2019. She works as a digital content producer at WVTM 13 in Birmingham. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for asking me.
So Elizabeth, you went straight into your graduate program from undergrad here at UM. So what was that like, and what challenges did you face going from this?
So I graduated from Montevallo in December of 2017, and I started at Alabama in August of 2018. So I had a bit of a gap. I didn't want to go straight into it because I probably could have started in the spring, but I wanted to give myself a little bit of a break. But I knew if I waited, if I sought out a job first and then was like, oh, I'll go back to grad school, I probably would never go. So I was like, I just need to go straight into school from school. That way I can get it done and get it out of the way and then have a job. And then also I knew the news industry is really competitive, and having a master's degree in journalism would possibly give me a leg up on some other people. So that's why I did it that way.
Okay. And so so you said, having a master's degree, especially in, journalism, it gives you leg up. Was that your decision to help you go to grad school? What made you want to go?
Yeah, I went for a couple of reasons. I always wanted to go to Alabama, so I was like, well, this is my chance to go because I went here for undergrad. So I was like, well, I'll go there for my master's degree. But with how competitive it is, I was really looking for anything that I could add on to my resume to kind of make me stand out over the other classmates or people seeking jobs. Mm-hmm. But also with Alabama's program, they give you an internship in your last 3 months, and the internship was at a newspaper. So I got to be an actual reporter. So I had legit experience going into my job. I was new in television, but I had already been writing for a publication with published work and stuff. So I felt like that was just an additional thing that I could add on there. And it made me not as nervous going into a job.
So how did you decide which grad program was the best fit for you?
Honestly, I just really wanted to go to Alabama, and I knew that they had a good program in general, so I wanted to go there. But I also liked that they gave you two options. So they have the 1-year community journalism program, which is what I did. So it's August to August, and that's for people who want to go straight into the industry. And then they have the research track where it's 2 years, and that's if you want to go get a PhD. Mm-hmm. And so I didn't want to go to a program that was 2 years because I knew it would be more research based. So that's another reason why I chose there.
So what were some of the biggest challenges you faced in grad school?
Well, since it was still a graduate program, it was a lot more focused on papers and things like that. Because, here, especially toward the end of your years at Montevallo, it's a lot of hands-on stuff, creating packages, the newscast, being out in the field. They try to prepare you for being out as a reporter. But since it was graduate school, there was still a lot of actual research that you still had to do. And so we had some really big papers, and I hadn't written an actual paper, a 30-page paper in a really long time. So that was hard. And then time management with that was hard because it was just a lot more effort I had to put into things there because of the research part.
So what advice would you give current students that are looking to go into graduate school?
I would say go and talk to directors. If there's a program that you think you're interested in, each program has a recruitment person or a director that talks with students. And so talking to Dr. Roberts, who is the person for Alabama, he was really friendly and inviting, and he was also very honest. He was like, this is different. It is still grad school, but it's the 1-year track. But he was very honest about the curriculum and what I would expect. So I kind of knew what I was going to be doing when I got in there. but also look for a place where you can truly connect with your teachers, because that grad school program, we only had 5 of us, and we were all together through every single class. So we got to really connect and like go through it together, as opposed to a bunch of different classes with like 40 people, and we got to really connect with our teachers, and they helped us a lot. It's kind of like Montevallo, so I liked that a lot.
And so aside from helping you get the job that you have now, what were some of the greatest benefits of going to grad school?
Definitely the connections, because the teachers there, and really with most graduate programs and collegiate programs in general, the teachers all had experience in the industry, and so they had been at various news stations or newspapers, and they just know all these people. So if you make a good connection with your teacher, you can use them as a letter of reference when you're looking for a job. And a lot of them had been in this area for so long. So when I went to apply for a job, my news director was like, "Oh yeah, I know who that person is." And she knew that was a reliable person that could vouch for me. So definitely the connections. That's another reason why I did it. I wanted to have another group of people separate from Montevallo that I could like add to when I wanted to talk to professional people.
All right. Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for coming to see us today.
Thank you.
It is time to take a quick break. When we come back, Jonathan will be here with 2 students in UM's Master of Business Administration program. We'll be right back.
Create your future as a social media manager, filmmaker, journalist, and so much more with a degree in communication studies and mass communication. Visit montevallo.edu/COFA for more information. You belong at Montevallo.
Welcome back to Mass Communication Topic Talk. I'm Jonathan Weed. For students who want to continue their education at UM after earning their undergraduate degree, UM's Master of Business Administration program can be a good option. And with us here today, joining me in the studio are Ben Nadalima and Candace Jarvis, who are both UM students and both are in the MBA program. Thank y'all so much for being here. Thank you. So I want to ask both of y'all a question. Could you first explain to us what is the MBA program?
Okay, so first of all, thank you for having us here. I really appreciate the opportunity. For me, because I graduated from UM, then came back for Master's in Business. So for me, that's a program that is going to enhance me to be better in the workforce. So after I graduated through the Falcon Scholars Program, I got connected with a nonprofit in Columbiana, the Shelby County Arts, and then coming back here is going to enhance my knowledge and all my skills to get into the workforce.
So what has been y'all's experience in the MBA program? I'm going to start with you, Candace, first.
I've had a great experience so far. I'm a semester and a half in right now, but I've learned so much just from this little time that I've been there, and I've learned a lot from my professors and from other students. We're all from different backgrounds and different stages of life, so I've had a great experience so far.
And what about you?
Yeah, my experience has been incredible. Just like my colleague here, I've a semester and a half in, and just looking forward to see where this experience leads me to. And I remember when I was coming back, I'm an international student, so it was fortunate/unfortunate that I had to come back this way, because there's some things that I was dealing with. But I'm really glad that Montevallo opened up those doors for me to just kind of get connected and learn and just grow within my craft.
So what prepared both of y'all for this program? Most people, there's certain qualifications for programs. Could y'all explain a little bit about that? And what advice would you have for anyone looking into the program? I'll start with you again.
Okay. Well, I felt very prepared going into this because of my undergrad. I was a marketing major, and I talked with the Granger Center, Dr. Johnson there, trying to get more information about the MBA program.
So who's Dr. Johnson again?
He is the director of the Granger Center for Professional Development in Stevens Hall. So you can go there for resume help, networking, anything along those lines. But he really helped me, along with Dr. Mellon, to just encourage me to continue my education.
Okay, and what about you?
Yeah.
What would you have any advice for someone that may, maybe not know everything about the program, but may be interested in it.
Yeah, so to piggyback off of what Candace said, I mean, we have Dr. Johnson, Dr. Mellon, the new the interim dean at the College of Business. So there's so many professors here that want the students to succeed. So basically we have so many resources as students, teachers, we have advisors, we have students that want to help us understand. And also just to kind of encourage those that don't know what they want to do is just keep trying things until you find something that resonates with you. So hey, keep talking, keep sharing, and just try to see what happens.
So what first made y'all interested in the program? Was it, getting certain goals? I mean, what really was in it for y'all at the beginning of starting the MBA program? I'll start with you.
Okay. Yeah, for me it was really, my mom's a teacher, so she kind of instilled in me that education is something that, that's one of the assets that will never go away. You could lose money, you could lose fame, but the education, the knowledge, the things that you have in your mind, academically, or what you've been putting into your mind. So education for me has been very valuable. So that's just basically what inspired me to get into it.
So Candace, I know you personally, and I know you have had a lot to juggle at UM. You were very active as a student. So how do you literally juggle all of that? Most students, in undergraduate can hardly do it. How did you allot time for the MBA?
Well, the MBA program is very flexible. You can take classes fully online or go in person for certain classes. It's like I said, very flexible. Time isn't such a tough thing with that.
So explain that a little bit more. How is it flexible?
Well, you can sign up for 4 classes a semester and finish in 1 year, or you can drag it on for as long as you want. But with those asynchronous classes or synchronous classes, you can do what works best for you. So.
Okay, and would you say would you agree with her?
Absolutely, 100%. And also, she's probably selling herself short. Superpowers, she's probably has superpowers that she's not sharing with us. But juggling the school time, work time, life, it could be kind of,
it's hard,
challenging, right? But at the same time, it's like we have these programs. We've got hybrid courses, we've got all online courses, and with the masks and everything, we're able to meet in class too. So it's been very flexible for all of us as students.
So you would say it's a whole lot more different than undergraduate?
I would say so, yes.
Okay. So Ben, as an undergrad, I know that you have sort of had your hands in a lot of things, from music to business. How did you connect your major with the arts and stuff like that with the business? Because they're two different things. How did you? Could you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So I started playing. Music is just something that was instilled within me since I was a kid. I'm from Tanzania, Africa, representing all the way. So it's like being around the culture. You hear the music, you hear the tribes, you hear the dances, all of the amazing things that go into it. But at the same time, it's like, as a person that loves music, I also want to make money. I'm not going to say I love money, but it's good to have, because I don't want to be one of those guys that isn't able to support his family while living his dream. So with that being said, in 2019, flashback to 2019, my percussion instructor, AJ Covey, and he and I just planned a trip to Tanzania. So we did a various number of workshops in different cities, and we're able to contact about 500 people, raised about $5,000 for that trip. So after that, I was asking myself, how can I incorporate music and business? Mm-hmm. So, and that trip kind of opened my eyes. So I said, okay, so think of something that you could do within while you're in school or even after. So I created a platform called Intercultural Musicianship.
Oh, wow.
Right. So that's what kind of started the journey of coming back into my MBA, incorporating music and business. That kind of thing. So just basically that one trip changed my whole aspect of what I want to study, what I want to do, so that kind of thing. So I don't know if I answered the question directly, but...
Oh, no, you most definitely did, and that's a really interesting, a lot of people come here and they may want one major or one major, but they're like, this is completely different, but I sort of want to integrate it with my major that I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
And I think that is a perfect example. So another question to both of y'all, can y'all tell me a specific moment that y'all were just very happy that y'all had the opportunity to be in the program, and how has it like achieved your long-term goals pretty much?
Well, this happens to me a lot with our professors. I'll get emails from them, hey, this organization needs help with a video or a t-shirt design, anything really, and I think you would be good for it. Are you interested? Yeah. So I think that's something I'll always remember, that the professors really invest in you and they want what's best for you, and they're going to put you in those positions where you can achieve your goals.
Okay, and can you think of a specific moment in your program history that
The
you just were
MBA
absolutely in
program?
love with?
Yeah, so like for me, it's been, I'm going to kind of piggyback of what she said, because there's some also teachers and also staff that, they want you to succeed. So I've been very fortunate to work with the president's office as the graduate assistant, and people like, Kira Thomas have reached out to me and said, hey, we have a certain function, and could you, be of assistance? I said, absolutely. So it's just, those opportunities that have been open to me, the president's office, the staff, some of the students, they'd have some events. I was a part of the Phi Chi Theta program in my undergrad, so it's just.
So it seems like you're pretty busy too.
It can be, yes.
So if y'all want to see more information about the program, you can take a look at the screen. And I just want to thank y'all for being here, and it's really been a pleasure getting to know y'all's unique story within the program. So thank y'all so much.
I appreciate you.
And it's time for another quick break. When we come back, we'll hear from Undergraduate Research Coordinator Dr. Cindy Tidwell and McNair Scholar Program student Jada Tubbs. We'll be right back.
At Montevallo, we invest in our students' futures, providing dozens of scholarships for freshmen and transfer students based on academic merit, leadership, community service, major, and financial need. We help every student get a world-class education. Visit youbelong@montevallo.com to learn more.
Welcome back to this Mass Communications Topic Talk. I'm Janisha Banks. In this segment, we will be discussing ways for students to start prepping for grad school and getting involved with research. Joining me to talk about 2 ways students can get involved with research before going to grad school are Dr. Cindy Tidwell, the coordinator of UM's undergraduate research program, and Jada Tubbs, a student in UM's McNair Scholars Program. Thanks so much for being here with me today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
All right, so Jada, my first question is for you. How did you go about getting involved in the McNair Scholars Program?
Well, I actually was part of the TRIO program first, which is, I think you have to get into that program before McNair, but I just went to Dr. Shaquila Mitchell, and, she helped me throughout the whole process. It was really just, getting the requirements for it. Like, you have to be a low-comm student who is also first gen, and the program is really for those students to have resources to better get them equipped to go into grad school and be better prepared for it. So Dr. Shaquila Mitchell was actually very helpful in that process, and it was just an interview and letters of recommendation and all that, and now I am able to reap the benefits of the program with things like workshops and also resources like you can get some kind of financial aid to help you fill out applications and all that, just to get you more comfortable doing so, more than you would before. So.
And that leads me to my next question.
Yes.
I know you just mentioned you're part of TRIO. So does that McNair, do they partner up with TRIO here on campus to get students who's maybe looking into going into grad school into their program as well?
Yes, I believe they're more so like sister programs, because like I said, TRIO comes first and then McNair. So they do work together, and a lot of their workshops are similar in that way, kind of like career building, workshops for making cover letters, and also they have GRE practice and kind of like workshops for that to help you better know what's going to be on the GRE and what to expect from it. So they're very helpful together.
Okay. And my next question is for you, Dr. Tidwell. Can you give us more information about undergraduate research program? Like, what is it? Like, how do students go about applying if they're interested in joining the program here at UM?
I would be delighted to do so. Our undergraduate research program is for everybody all across campus. We do partner with Dr. Shaquilla Mitchell on with the McNair students, and they go through the application process too. But that's just one facet of what they do. And but all students on campus qualify for the undergraduate research program. And the way to get started for a student is to go ahead and find your favorite faculty member and ask them, could I participate in your research project, or would you help me develop a research project of my own? And then there's the application. You can take undergraduate research for course credit. So that's really great because it can show up on your transcript. And so then when you get ready to apply to grad school, it's right there, and it tells exactly what you did, how much credit you got for that. So getting course credit is a really nice benefit, but the most important part of having the opportunity to do undergraduate research is to work one-on-one with a faculty member. And when you transition from undergraduate to graduate school, what you're doing is you're sort of leaving the classroom behind a little bit and stepping into the research world. And so doing undergraduate research just gives you a little glimpse into that. And I've been promoting this program for over 10 years now. Actually, I've been promoting this program since I started teaching 20-something years ago. And first, as just a faculty member who had undergraduate research students, and I've been very excited to be the coordinator of the program and talk to students and faculty about the benefits of participating. But one of the reasons that I'm so passionate about the program is because it changed my life. When I was an undergraduate research student, I began to see what graduate school was like, and I was caught, I guess. I just loved it, and I wanted to know more. And I tell my students all the time, I've graduated quite a few times now. And what I've learned every time is I've never got that sense of, well, I've arrived, I've got this, I've always been humbled in that when I graduated from high school or college and even graduate school, that my eyes were just open to how much bigger my world was becoming. When I graduated high school, oh wow, you get to learn all this at undergrad. And then when I started grad school, man, there's so much stuff I don't know that I want to know. And so graduate school is really fun, and it lets you explore a lot of things that you didn't necessarily get to as an undergrad. And in the undergraduate research program, I call it the ultimate in undergraduate education, because what you're doing is you're sort of stepping out the classroom. You're taking all that information that you learned, and then you're applying it to some question that you have, some research question. And when a student does that and they discover something new, something never before known, it is one of the most exhilarating things that you can do. And it's just a great motivator. It's a great preparer for graduate school. And it helps you to discover the things that you want to know more about. And so it's easy to get involved. We've got faculty all across campus that are doing undergraduate research. I'll put a plug in right now. We're having undergraduate research day next week. And we have students from every college on campus that are participating. So it really is a campus-wide event. Students from all over campus do undergraduate research, and it is a joy for me to get to see them as they develop. And one of the things about next week is that undergrad research day, Jada's going to present, but they're all going to present what they've been doing. So they've done their research, they've came up with some conclusions, and now it's time to share that information with the world. And our world right next week will be the University of Montevalla community. And so it's an interdisciplinary thing. Everybody should come. It'll be really fun. Mm-hmm.
And that leads me to my next question, since you already brought it up about the undergraduate research day. How do students go about applying to the program to be a part of that if they're interested in, going
Doing
into?
it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so to get involved and do undergraduate research through our program on campus, because I mentioned you could take it for course credit. If you want to take a course in the fall or the summer, we have 2 deadlines. We've got an April deadline for summer applications and an August deadline for the fall applications. And those are approved through the department that you are majoring in or you're doing your research in. And then they come to our office, we create a class for you, and you register. As far as participating in UR Day, every year on November 1st, we have a registration that opens, and students who have done research with a faculty mentor can register. And actually, to do Undergraduate Research Day, you don't necessarily have to have taken the course for credit. If you've done research in the summers through an internship or something like that, or just done research with a faculty member on campus and didn't take it for course credit, you can still present what you're doing at Undergraduate Research Day. We're delighted to have all students participate.
So it's open to everyone, not just graduates?
That's exactly right. Ours is actually for just undergrads.
Okay. And Jada, I have a question for you. What are you doing your research on? What will you be presenting your research?
Yes, so I will be presenting my research that I did this past summer. It is about how the Black transgender woman is oftentimes underrepresented or not represented in the appropriate light in media. Specifically, I focused on the show Pose, on one character in that, but it really is shedding a light on how important it is to shed light on intersectionality, and how we're all not just one thing. We are multiple things at once, and that is different from being a singular thing at one time. So a Black transgender woman is Black, transgender, and a woman all at once. And because of this, because they are all a group of 3 different minorities all together, then they are very, the most vulnerable when it comes to discrimination and how they're represented. So I wanted to shed light on that and just draw attention to it.
Sounds like an interesting topic.
Yes.
This is a question for both you guys. Either one of you can chime in. What is any advice that you would give to students that are looking to go into grad school who's maybe not dead set on a program to maybe apply to, someone like me? I'm considering grad school, but I'm stuck and I don't know what program to apply to. So what advice would you give to students that are in that similar situation?
I would say, first of all, that I don't think that grad school is for everybody. I think it can be very beneficial for those who do decide to go, because you are able to have the structure, if you need structure, to continue your research and your career in that area. And I know that it is good for building connections with people that you can't really get if you are not attending grad school. So there are good things about it. I do know that finances are an issue for me personally. That is why I am personally taking a gap year in between, trying to just build my portfolio to have a stronger one when I do apply to schools later on. But I think it is based off your own personal needs and what you can afford. There are scholarships out there. I'm sure Dr. Tidwell would agree with me. There are scholarships that you could apply for, but it really is based off your own personal needs, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would say get involved. Get involved and find answers to your question. One way to get involved is to do like Jada and do undergraduate research, and that will give you some vision into what graduate school will be like. Another thing too, if you're worried about the financial aspect of it, a lot of graduate schools will have opportunities for you to get fellowships. And I know that I went through grad school, and all chemistry students go through graduate school and nobody pays. Because they need people to teach labs, they need research assistants, and so we're very fortunate, I know, in the sciences, and I feel sure in mathematics and maybe some of the other disciplines as well. that they will pay for your tuition, they'll pay you a salary, and so that helps to compensate for some of the things that you might be worried about. I would say in chemistry for sure, which is what I did, it would have been very difficult to work and do the graduate program at the same time. So if you can find a way financially to overcome that need to work while you're in grad school, that is really good. And there's fellowships out there. I applied for several fellowships outside of the university in addition to what they offered. And so that was very helpful. I know a lot of professors that actually taught classes at different universities, like at junior colleges, while they were in grad school. And so there are some disciplines that being able to work and go to grad school, maybe it's more feasible than maybe in the sciences, but if you're not sure what you want to do, I would absolutely get with your professors, ask them questions. They've all done it. So they can tell you exactly what it's like. They can tell you what the challenges are, what the benefits are, and that will help you make your decision. And Jada made a very good point, is that graduate school really isn't for everybody. Unless you are die-hard committed, it would be difficult for somebody to make it. I know that when I picked my program that I was going to go into, somebody gave me some really good advice, and they said, more important than your dissertation topic is who is going to be your academic advisor, because you've got to work with that person. You've got to, be able to maneuver all the challenges of grad school, and they're there to help you do that. And so when you pick your project, though, and when you pick your area that you want to study, make sure that it is absolutely something that you are passionate about, because you're going to spend a lot of time, an enormous amount of time, studying that and working that and digging in that. And so you want it to be something that you love and that you want to spend time learning about. So,
All right, well, thank you guys for your time.
Thank you.
Be sure to join us for next month's Topic Talk on April 4th, when we'll be discussing sports media and what it takes to be successful in that competitive field. And if you've missed any of our previous Topic Talks, you can check them out on the Comm YouTube channel. Just search for Montevallo for you. And if you're interested in learning more about UM's Mass Communications program, visit montevallo.edu/MC. That's all the time we have for today. Thanks for all of our guests for joining us for this month's Topic Talk. We'll see you again next time.